British weather at its best. So the plan for this week was to fast for 36 hours and to get out there and do another 12 to 14 mile run. Fasting wise, I managed to exceed my expectations. I managed to fast for 60 hours. Now, that wasn't the plan, but unfortunately about midway through the week, I picked up a stomach bug from somewhere and was suffering from diarrhea and decided I would take this as an advantage and just use that as my fasting window. Many years ago, in a former life, I actually worked in a pharmacy and I learned the odd thing, which was basically the best way to get rid of a stomach bug: just fast for 24 hours. Everything will go back to normal and you'll be fine. And that's exactly what happened here. The difference was that after 24 hours, I had no appetite. So I thought I would extend the fast out a little bit longer. It wasn't what you would call a clean fast, so it's not what I would call a typical fast. So I was taking hydration tablets in the second day just to make sure I was hydrated. I like fasting for the benefits of autophagy. Now, autophagy is basically the way your body cleans out cells. So if you've got dead or damaged cells within your body, autophagy is the process where your body basically scavenges, cleans them up, basically breaks them down and reuses them again. Now I like that, and that kind of ticked my box for the simple fact that I have a long family history of cancer, so it kind of sounds like a positive thing to do if you've got a very high chance of going down that route. So I basically have adopted it since then. It's also one of the few fasting lengths, 36 hours, where I don't have any problems. So I've tried long fasts in the past. I've gone up to like 3 or 4 days. The difficulty you get with 3 or 4 days, or even longer, I'm sure, is that you have digestive problems when you actually start refeeding. So you actually generally end up with diarrhea after you finish the fast, which is, nobody wants that. By the time you're hungry again and you want to eat, you really do want to eat. Going back to it, I did a 60-hour fast and managed to refeed without any problems, interestingly. So it was 60 hours, even though I said a moment ago that you generally have problems, I didn't in this instance. Immediately after that, I did have to start to refeed because the plan was still to go out there and do that 12, 13 mile run. I managed to do it. Unfortunately, the weather was against me, as you'll have seen in these clips. The weather was absolutely atrocious. So the run was around Calke Abbey, which is a National Trust estate in Leicestershire, not far from where we did the run last week, actually. The route that we did actually incorporated some of the cloud trail again. It was okay apart from the weather. It was perfectly flat, but it was really, really flooded. So we've had lots and lots of rain over the past few weeks, and that definitely made it a much more difficult thing to do. I did, however, manage to complete 14 miles in a very slow 2 hours 40. The interesting thing is that my recovery after that run was way, way better than last week's. So again, I'm guessing it's that thing that once you've kind of broken the back of a longer distance, it gets a little bit easier. But yeah, although I performed all the stretches that I talked about last week, the stretching it was literally one set of stretches after I got back home, before I went to bed, and the next day, and no aches, no pains, no discomfort. I could have gone out running the next day. I didn't, obviously, but I could have. I'm really pleased with that, and going forward, I'm going to try and keep up to that, a minimum of doing 1 14-mile run a week. So this year's big challenge has been decided upon. I'm not going to announce it yet. We'll announce it next week. Reason being, it gives me an extra week just to back out if I need to. It's going to be big. It's certainly very much outside of my comfort zone. But if I can do it, I'll be thrilled. It will be a hell of an achievement to come from where I am to where I'm going. Anyway, I'll talk more about that in the next video. Next video, I'm changing these things up a little bit. I'm going to actually, instead of doing like a talking head video with clips of me running, instead I'm going to just do, weather permitting, recording while out and about. In addition to that, I will also still keep on doing like the monthly updates, weigh-ins and that kind of stuff. So or if I've got anything important I want to say to the camera, I will do them seated. But my plan always was, with doing this channel, was that it would be a kind of running and cycling video where you'd actually see me out there doing things as opposed to being sat here talking to camera. Other than that, I think that's pretty much me up to date. I'll leave you with a few more clips of last week's run. And until next week, have a good one. The sun always comes out when you're finishing.